My name is Jose Martinez. I'm the technical support manager for Canare. Been here for 15 years now.
Hi, my name's Paul Keating, and I'm also a technical support manager here at Canare, and I've been here for 19 years.
So we're actually going to read a few questions that we've seen on the internet regarding just technical questions of our products.
AV313 asks, Canare TS100 strip settings for L-5.5 CUHD? I would welcome any tips or settings you used for the TS100 strippers. We have only a few long runs of L-5.5 CUHD to make, so I prefer to use a TS100, which we're also using for many of our L-3.3 CUHD cables, instead of having to spend more on a separate tool.
Oh, wow. Well, if you email us, we can send you the screw height settings for the L5.5 CUHD. You can use that as a starting point. Basically, it's the height adjustment for the 3 or 4 screws on there. Since this is you can store 5 different settings on here, just pick one that you're not using. And the only other tip I can suggest is, after you cut the cable square, have it up against the plastic backstop, close the tool, go ahead and spin it, your 10 times around. But the only modification I would make at this point is after you're done spinning the tool is actually open up the tool, pull the cable out, and remove the cut pieces by hand. You'll get a cleaner strip that way.
Yeah, the thing that's beautiful about the product itself, so there's 3 versions. There's the E, the U, and the H. The only difference between the 3 is typically just the pre-settings. But like Paul mentioned, you could use whichever one you don't normally use and just adjust it to whatever your heights are going to be, basically. Each one of the tools comes with a millimeter ruler, and then the adjustable Allen wrench here would allow you to sit there and kind of switch everything around. But you could definitely go on our YouTube page, take a look at the video. Paul actually has a good demonstration on how to adjust it, how to use it as well. So
Video KG asks, why do people put Canare BNC on belt and SDI cable? I've seen this combo a lot, but both companies make both products. Why not use one company for both connector and cable?
Oh, well, years ago, I had Steve Lampin tell me that out of all the BNCs that they tested over at Belden, the Canare actually tested the best. So, it's a nice 3-piece design. All the tooling is generally available, and it takes the guesswork out of what strip tool you need, what crimp tool you need, and it's just generally a reliable connector once assembled and easy to assemble.
yeah, I think people also its electrical performance is probably better with the 3-piece crimp connector versus the 1-piece compression connector. Canare does both, right? The cable and the connector as well. So I think it also comes down to paying a little bit more of a premium for something that is going to actually work versus some of the other connectors that are in the industry. I know ours definitely it withstands a lot of the weather. I've seen them in a few different environments where it's outdoors, so you'll see it and see some of the other connectors in the industry where they're kind of rusting away. Meanwhile, ours keeps the same coating and the same finish, I should say. But yeah, we do both, and they're actually engineered by they're done by our engineers in Japan, where the cables and the connectors are specific to one another, so everything's designed to make sure that it performs at peak performance all the time.
Stavix asks, how to do a reliable Ethernet connection, AV rack to moving truss system? Hey everyone, I'm curious on how to do a reliable Ethernet connection, Cat6A or Cat7, from AV racks into a moving truss system. The setup is keystone panel to fixed cable tray on a moving truss system via folding cable guide with the Ethercon connector on the truss.
Oh, our mobile Cat6A would probably be perfect for this application. I think it's the RJ C6-4P-SFM.
Yep.
Yeah, it was designed for mobile applications. There are both standard RJ45 Ethernet plugs available for it, as well as the Neutrik EtherCon. Only thing to keep in mind, because it's a moving truss system, is not to bend it. Here with them, I believe it's 4 times OD is the minimum bend radius on this particular cable. So if you're within that limit, this cable would be perfectly fine for this application.
Larry Zucchini 33 asks, tips for de-braiding Canare Shield a bit faster? It seems more tedious compared to some other cables. I'm curious if anyone has developed any techniques or found/made any good tools to expedite the process of unbraiding their shield without abusing it. I'm using Star Quad, so maybe this cable of theirs has a particularly robust shield. At least I'm catching up on some shows and movies while I'm stripping this
Yeah, as far as stripping the microphone cables, so we do use, it's like what would you call it, like a brush?
It's a double grinding machine, actually, with
a brush.
Yeah, with
brush type of
it's a wire brush.
Yeah, there you go. And it actually helps debraid the shielding pretty quickly. But you could use the regular method. We were having a conversation before where you could actually pull down the shield and then just use a pick. Paul refers to them as the greenies, and you kind of just debraid from there. But the quickest method would be using that grinder brush attachment. We'll probably put a picture of it in a video as well, just so you guys have some kind of reference to it. But
I also have some very impatient friends, and what they do is they just kind of cut straight down the shield as well. And that leaves enough of it where you're still getting contact on the ground. That's if you're really impatient or really in a hurry, but we really do recommend unbraiding the whole shield.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could also scrunch it, clip around it, and then just debraid just the end piece and just clean it up. That could be a lot quicker as well too. I think everyone's gonna have their own method as to how quickly you can get them done. Also depends on how many cables you're doing. If you're just doing a few, might not be worth the investment to get a whole grinding machine to do that. But for us here, we do a lot of them, so we end up using that machine. So
Real Farley asks, difference between Canare L-2T2S and Canare L-4E6S cables? Hello, I recently begun soldering XLR and TRS cables for the music studio I work at. I have run into a question regarding the number of conductors in these similar Canare cables. Is there an added benefit of using these twisted pair style for the XLR and TRS cables? Or could someone simply go with a comparable 2-conductor cable with the same braided shield? What's the real difference?
Technically you can use either cable for audio applications. The main advantage of using the L4E6S Star Quad cable is for microphones. Just the Star Quad design will help reject EMI noise a lot better than just the standard 2-conductor, the 2-conductor with the shield. But either will work. The L2T2S, the standard 2-conductor cable, is perfectly fine for regular line level audio, for example. If there's instances where you don't need a Star Quad, but I think both are priced about the same, and you still get the EMI noise rejection a little bit better with the Star Quad version, the L4E6S.
Now, would you be able to run one further than the other, or about the same?
That's the funny part. Mic level may be a little bit lower, line level a little bit further. I believe you probably push the Star Quad a little bit further, simply because you have a little bit more copper by combining the 2 conductors together.
Okay.
Dogo229 asks, stripping Canare mobile cables? About to order a bunch of mobile coax from Canare, L-4.5 CHWS. Although, I noticed all the documentation mentions you cannot use the TS100 stripper tool. Seems to be the same for all Canare's mobile cable. Been searching for ages, but haven't for the life of me been able to find any info on why not and what other tool I should use. Would appreciate it if someone could shed some light on this.
Actually, in fact, you can use your TS100 strip tool to strip our CUHWS and CHWS series cable. Some modified instructions. We can send you a chart with the screw height, recommended screw heights, as a starting point for adjusting the tool. Once you get a flush cut, and you insert the coax into the stripper, butt up against a clear plastic. You can close the tool, go ahead and spin the tool around the recommended 10 times, at least. Then this is where the instructions change a little bit. After you're done spinning the tool, open the tool, take the cable out. Then you can remove the cutoff bits by hand. On some of these mobile cables, since the jacket is a little bit more flexible, you might need a razor blade to help clean up the cut a little bit. Maybe a pair of wire cutters, maybe clean up some of the strip around the dual shield as on the cable as well. And that's how you can use your TS100 tool to strip these mobile coaxes. And if you ask, if you contact our office, we can give you the screw height settings that you can use.
Yeah, I think from Canare standpoint, it was something where we couldn't get like a clean cut from it. So obviously, if it wasn't a clean cut, we didn't want to say that it was, a recommended tool for it. However, if you have it, it's better than not using anything or using your hands or blades or whatever the case is. It's going to give you a clean enough cut to where, like Paul said, you just have to clean up some of the strands and some of the bits a little bit. But making the proper adjustments will be fine. But it also has to do with the cable material as well. The flexibility of it, like Paul mentioned, but you should be okay with it. We know a bunch of customers that use it for various cables, and in this case, the CHWS and things like that as well. So go 2291, I believe it was. Yeah, you're good to go with the TS100, but it's more just from having a clean, perfect cut versus something that you have to clean up.